Let's go ahead and break the ad a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play parts of this ad, and I'm actually going to go into Facebook to do this as well. First thing it does is it says, what is this coolest thing that you've added? I'm kind of interested in this, right? And I want you to notice that there's even some small elements here of like, it's clearly summertime, right? Which is very relevant to what is going on right now for everybody. It's summertime. And then she does this little flash forward. And again, a flash forward, what that means is when you basically show a preview of what's about to come. So she just pulls down this shade screen. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool, right? And then boom, it cuts to before. You know when a movie starts like right in the action and then it like finishes the action scene to like really hook you in right away. And then it says like, 6 months earlier. Like a lot of films and a lot of TV shows do that because then you're like, oh, that already happened. How did we get there, right? That is how we've created the curiosity gap is like, okay, she was here, right? But then we look, like, what's the next scene after this? Look at her deck. It's like falling apart. Look at this massive change that's happened. I'm like, how did that go to that? Like, what did this chick do? And so now I have even more of a reason to keep watching. And the reason why I'm like talking out loud about this stuff is because like this isn't happening at the front of your brain. It's happening subconsciously. This is basically what your subconscious is like processing. You're not even thinking about it, but that is literally what your brain is doing while you're watching the video. Your subconscious is having that conversation that I just had. And then I see this and I'm like, wait, how did they go from that to that? You're not thinking that consciously. That's just what your brain is doing internally. So let's go ahead and continue to watch this. So this is a really great hook. It creates space, it creates curiosity. What's the coolest thing that we've added to our house? Even though we're kind of showing how this is this cool thing, which, hey, if you're going to say something's cool, it better be pretty cool. And when she pulls down this screen and has like this deck cover with this really cool shade screen, like, yeah, it's pretty cool, right? And then again, as I mentioned, we get to the point where her deck is literally falling apart. So now we have even more space to keep watching. Let's go ahead and continue and try to get past the first 3 seconds here.
This is the coolest thing we've ever added to our house. If you're new here, hi, I'm Sammy, and welcome to part 3 of our back deck refresh. So
Perfect. So let's stop it there. Again, hi, I'm Sammy. If you're new here, welcome back to part 3 of our, back deck refresh, right? So she introduces herself very quickly and we're basically saying, hey, we're doing a deck refresh. But you have to remember what I just saw in the beginning is how I'm trying to connect. Like, I'm like, okay, how did she do that? And so this bridge really works well because of what we showed in the hook, right? And so many of you guys are like focused on trying to write hooks with like crazy images and crazy things that just get people to stop. But your goal is to get people to stop and keep watching. Let's watch how she continues to keep our attention and what she introduces next.
3 of our back deck refresh. So far, we've replaced some boards and painted the entire thing a light gray, and today we are adding a pergola because
Perfect. So now she's provided context of everything that's happened. So, hey, we've just repainted everything. And now today, what we're going to do is we're going to add a pergola. And now I even kind of have a question. I'm like, what the heck is a pergola, right? So I'm probably going to be interested in watching. But again, I'm still anchored on that hook. I want to see how did she go from this to this beautiful looking deck with this really cool thing? Well, she's already kind of explained that she repainted everything. So she started to answer part of that. But now she says she's going to add a pergola. So now again, I'm like, what is a pergola? I want to see what this is and how she sets this up. So let's go ahead and keep watching.
this deck gets beat with afternoon sun. We don't get to spend as much time out here as we would like to.
Here we go. Now she's starting to introduce like why she's even doing this in the first place. So she says, hey, I'm always getting, and I hope you guys like my drawings, the sun is just hammering our deck, okay? And so because of that, we never usually get to use it because it's just too hot to go sit out there, right? That is a very relatable pain point for a lot of people that don't have a cover on their deck. In the summertime, it's hot. And like sometimes you don't just want to sit in the sun, like you want to go sit in the patio, but it's too hot because you don't have any shade, you don't have any cover. And so she's just setting up and explaining like, this is why I'm doing this. This is why I'm setting this up. So let's go ahead and continue watching.
So adding some shade is going to be essential with young kids. We chose to go with a
Also just want to call out how she talked about the young kids specifically. I think that's a really great call to be like, hey, I've got little kids. They can't be laying or sitting on the patio getting burnt. She obviously doesn't say that, but my point is that she's like, hey, I've got little kids, kind of speaking directly to the avatar. And she's mentioning how crucial it is for people that have kids, right? So you're kind of building a little bit of relatability there as well.
Pergolux pergola because I love how sleek and clean they look. Plus they have accessories you can add like put on screens, lights, and even a heater for cooler months.
And so what's really cool about that too is now she's just starting to explain the product and it doesn't feel like she's shilling. She's just saying like, hey, I bought this product and I really enjoyed it. And that is how you can always pitch without rejection. Because those of you who are watching this and have maybe been through the Evolve Copywriting program, we talk about pitching without rejection, right? So pitching without rejection requires you to pitch in a way that either removes objections completely, or once you make a pitch, you have to be able to handle the objections that are going to come. And so here she's not saying like, oh, you have to go and get this one. She's like, hey, this this is the one that I'm using and I like it because it has this feature, and that feature, and it's really nice. And she even mentions like, hey, I even going to be able to use it in the winter because it has this built-in heater, right? Now, this whole time she's just showing her and her husband building this deck, but she's now pitching. And a lot of you guys probably didn't even feel like she was pitching you, but that is what is happening. She is selling you the product, but it doesn't feel like she's selling it to you. It just feels like she's making a recommendation like, hey, I love this thing. It looks great. It was really easy to set up, and you'll hear her kind of pitch it more, but the way it's being pitched is what matters. She's not selling it like you have to buy this or like this is the best one. She's just saying, hey, this is the one that we got. It works really great. It has these things. Let's continue to see how she pitches us.
Not gonna lie, I was a little nervous about the install because we've never put up something like this before, but
Really, really, really good objection handling right there as well. And so this is how you know she's a good creator, because what did I just say? When you make a pitch, you have to learn how to handle the objections after, right? So she knows the main objection of this product is I'm not a DIY person. I don't know how to set this up. That's what she says. So after she says like, oh, here's the one that I got. It's got all these great features, all this kind of stuff. Even though people believe her and they're like, yeah, that looks like a great product, they're going to have the objection of like, oh, I'm not going to be able to set that up. And so when she says here that she was a little nervous about setting it up, but it actually ended up being really easy, I'm going to play this clip again because just this one little clip is going to eliminate so many objections that people are going to have. And that is such an important thing for your ad to do, especially if your ad is potentially getting a lot of clicks and a lot of people are interested, but they're just not converting. Sometimes it's an ad issue because you just don't do a good enough job of handling the objections that happen. Even if people think this is a great product, they're still going to have objections about themselves. So it's now no longer a product objection. She's gotten over that, right? She's been able to pitch in a way where it doesn't feel like a pitch, but there's still the internal objection of like, oh, this is not for me, right? Like I wouldn't be able to do this. And she's able to build relatability by saying she was that person, but it was very easy.